When this woman is eating in the school cafeteria, a classmate intentionally pours a whole bottle of milk over her, but Yajin doesn't get mad. Later, she goes to the restroom. That same classmate dumps a whole bucket of ice water on her. This time, Yajin still doesn't fight back, but you will never guess. Her revenge is more ruthless than anyone else's. Yajin is extremely good at hiding her true colors. On the surface, she looks innocent and kind, but anyone who has ever bullied her will eventually lose everything. To get back at the classmate who bullied her, Xingxi, Yajin makes a very detailed plan. Xingxi's family is very wealthy. There is also a female teacher at school who constantly protects Xingxi, so the first obstacle Yajin needs to eliminate is this female teacher and Xingxi's father. On the day of the female teacher's birthday, all the students and teachers witness a shocking scene. The teacher's husband furiously storms into the school, holding photos of his wife's affair to confront her to her face. These photos were also leaked online in advance. Because of her guilty conscience, the female teacher has no way to defend herself. She is immediately fired by the school. Just as the teacher breaks down and is about to collapse to the ground, Yajin suddenly steps forward and catches her, and softly whispers in her ear, "Do you like the birthday present I got you?" Meanwhile, Xingxi has absolutely no idea that the man the teacher had an affair with is her own biological father. Later, the school prepares to host a debate competition. Yajin, the top student, and Juanrui, the writing champion. The two of them need to compete for a single spot. But Juanrui directly gives up his spot to Yajin. Because Xingxi has been used to bossing people around since childhood, she acts like a boss on the debate team, assigning tasks to everyone. But Yajin steps up at this moment to voice her objection. This move completely infuriates Xingxi. Xingxi immediately calls her crush, Juanrui, hoping Juanrui can join her team. But Xingxi is completely oblivious to the close relationship between Juanrui and Yajin. At this very moment, Juanrui is hanging out at Yajin's house. Juanrui flat out rejects Xingxi over the phone. Afterward, Yajin discovers the love letter Xingxi wrote to Juanrui. Juanrui looks at Yajin and asks, "Why are you reading it so seriously? Wouldn't it be better to just throw the letter away?"
그래도 답장은 해줘야지. 내가 해줄게.
The next day, as soon as Yajin walks into the school, she is informed by the teacher that she must quit the debate team because the parents sponsoring the school oppose her participation. Shortly after, Xingxi runs over and pretends to comfort Yajin. Yajin knows perfectly well that Xingxi is the one sabotaging her behind the scenes, but Yajin calmly hands Xingxi a letter. The letter bluntly reads, "I don't like you. You annoy me," but this is only the first step of Yajin's counterattack. Her true revenge is far from over.
This woman earned a spot on the debate team, but was suddenly asked by the teacher to leave. The reason a parent who sponsors the school objected to her participation. Then Eva came over, pretending to care about her. Annie knew Eva was behind it all, but she only gave Eva a letter. The letter said, "I don't like you, you're annoying." But Annie's retaliation went far beyond that. Soon Eva received news that the debate competition was cancelled. The reason someone reported that the competition was rigged, that a student's parent had bribed the judges. If Annie couldn't compete, then no one would. Eva said, "Anyone who crosses me comes to a bad end." Annie said, "I'd like to see what happens to people who cross you." Annie had no connections, no powerful backing, but she was more ruthless than anyone. But Eva wasn't easy to mess with either. She returned to the classroom and opened Annie's notebook, only to discover that John's handwriting in his reply letters was identical to Annie's. This made her suspect that Annie was far more than she appeared to be. Not long after, Eva discovered Annie's secret. After Annie had a bucket of cold water dumped on her, John was the first to step forward and wrap a blanket around her. Just as he was about to take her to the nurse's office, Bob stopped them. Seeing Annie in such a miserable state, he gloated, but Annie calmly told him to go do what he was supposed to do. It turned out Annie had caught Bob doing something bad. She used this to blackmail him into extorting money at school. Every time Bob extorted money, he would send a text to the boss. That day, a teacher discovered what Bob was up to. He frantically ran out of the classroom, and Eva found the phone he used for communication. Eva looked at the transaction records on the phone. She still didn't know who the boss was, but when she dialed that number, the person who answered was Annie.
너 들켰어? 네가 보스 맞네. 인재우 시켜서 애들 돈 수고만 진짜 싫지.
This woman finally realized that the mysterious person was actually Anna, but William's appearance suddenly changed everything. William took the initiative to approach Emma. He confessed that he was the one who had written that letter. He openly admitted that he liked Emma, but he didn't like a woman who meddled too much in others' affairs. So, there were things he wanted Emma to stay out of, especially the conflict between her and Anna, to make a good impression in front of the person she liked. Emma temporarily refrained from confronting Anna. Soon after, Anna went to see Jaehyun. The moment Jaehyun saw Anna, he immediately rushed into her arms. This was because Jaehyun had to be involved in the plan to deal with Emma. At the same time, the homeroom teacher was about to get married. According to Korean custom, students had to pool money to give a gift. Anna seized this opportunity. She pretended to be there just to chat. But in reality, she was secretly jotting down Emma's password. Anna then signaled that it was time for William to act. William took the initiative to suggest skipping class to watch a movie. As expected, Emma agreed. Meanwhile, Anna appeared on the way to the nurse's office and hid in the art classroom. At the same time, Jaehyun stole the money the students had pooled for the gift and framed Emma for it. He quickly messaged Anna, telling her Emma would be back soon. Anna then pretended to be nervous, asking the art teacher to hold her hand. This moment was exactly what Emma walked in on. Emma naturally assumed that Anna had an inappropriate relationship with the art teacher. When everyone returned to the classroom, the class president noticed the gift money was missing. To prove her innocence, Emma emptied her backpack, allowing everyone to check. The next second, Jaehyun kicked open Emma's locker and pulled out an envelope from inside. The evidence was right there. The whole class looked at Emma like she was a joke. Emma was so furious she almost lost her mind. But the person she was most angry at was Anna. However, the situation wasn't over. At the brink of breaking down, Emma suddenly blurted out in front of everyone that Anna and the art teacher were involved. This immediately silenced the room, because the homeroom teacher's fiancé was that very art teacher. At that moment, Anna stood up to explain, saying she was only asking the teacher for advice. In this situation, Emma became the complete laughingstock, though Anna had completely outmaneuvered her. Emma felt she still had one final card to play. She mocked Anna in front of everyone, saying that Anna had no parents, while she was the child of a wealthy family. But what Emma didn't know was that Anna had long set her sights on her father. If Emma dared to keep provoking her, Anna would directly expose all of her father's unsavory secrets.
The wealthy heiress exposed Ah-jin's involvement in the loan shark operation, but Kim Jae-woo immediately took all the blame himself and calmly asked Seung-hee if she had any actual proof. Seung-hee then presented the text messages from Jae-woo's phone as evidence, but every incriminating message had already been deleted. At that moment, a teacher arrived at the scene, yet Seung-hee refused to stop. She suddenly accused Ah-jin of having an inappropriate relationship with the art teacher. Before she could say anything else, the homeroom teacher slapped her across the face because the art teacher happened to be her fiancé. The homeroom teacher demanded an explanation from Ah-jin, but Ah-jin stepped forward first and explained that the teacher had only been concerned about her well-being and had introduced her to a counseling center. The moment Seung-hee heard those words, she twisted the story, claiming the two teachers were secretly dating and deliberately embarrassed them in front of everyone. The homeroom teacher then returned to the theft accusation. No matter how much Seung-hee argued, she was still the only person who had remained in the classroom during gym class. Desperate to clear her name, Seung-hee revealed that she had arranged to meet Jun Seo during that period. But Jun Seo calmly stated that he had spent the entire class helping students organize sports equipment. Being betrayed by the boy she secretly liked completely shattered Seung-hee. She demanded to know why he would do this to her, but Jun Seo simply replied that he had warned her to stop targeting Ah-jin. Only then did Seung-hee realize that everything had been part of Ah-jin's plan. The people who frame you are always the ones who know exactly how innocent you are. Meanwhile, students who had been watching the drama uploaded videos online. Jae-woo intentionally fueled the controversy and even dragged Seung-hee's celebrity lawyer father into the discussion. The video spread rapidly across the internet. Soon, people uncovered an old scandal, revealing that the man involved in a former teacher's affair was Seung-hee's father. Her reputation collapsed almost overnight. Later, Ah-jin warned Seung-hee that in movies, people like her are always the first to die. Seung-hee insisted everything was Ah-jin's fault, but Ah-jin calmly reminded her that she had touched her belongings, thrown water on her, and ruined her lunch. If she had been smarter, things might have turned out differently. Then Ah-jin looked directly at her and said,
네가 내 표적이 되어줘서 즐거웠어. 고마워. 학교 생활 지루하지 않게 해줘서.
For the first time, Seung-hee saw the dark side hidden beneath Ah-jin's smile, but her nightmare was far from over. The moment she left school, she ran into Bak Seon-gyu, Ah-jin's gambling addict father who had recently been released from prison. After overhearing him mention Ah-jin on the phone, Seung-hee approached him and asked whether his daughter was Baek Ah-jin, then cruelly remarked that she would have been better off as an orphan. Meanwhile, Jae-woo managed to steal Seung-hee's diary. Inside, she had ranked her classmates from middle school through high school, dividing them into social classes. If the diary became public, the students she looked down on would never forgive her. Even so, Ah-jin chose not to use it, but Seung-hee continued causing trouble. She brought Baek Seon-gyu directly to the school, where he loudly demanded to see Ah-jin. The moment Ah-jin saw the man, fear flashed across her face. Fortunately, Jun Seo stepped in to protect her. At first, Baek Seon-gyu exchanged a few casual words before asking where Ah-jin was. When Jun Seo realized the man was becoming unstable, he promised to give him money. Only then did he finally leave. Seung-hee desperately tried to convince him to keep going after Ah-jin, but once money was mentioned, he completely ignored her. That was the final straw for Ah-jin. This time, she showed no mercy. She threw Seung-hee's diary onto the ground. Before long, a classmate picked it up and discovered the rankings inside. After realizing how she had classified everyone, the students immediately turned against her. That very night, they prepared a brutal round of retaliation. Seung-hee offered them money, but nobody cared anymore. Instead, they held up the diary and demanded an explanation. Unable to endure the relentless bullying, Seung-hee eventually dropped out of school. At the same time, a tragedy unfolded in Jae-woo's home. His abusive father pointed a knife at his younger son. Jae-woo rushed forward to stop him, begging his father not to hurt his brother. For the first time in his life, he found the courage to fight back. But during the struggle, his father lost his balance and fell. The knife pierced his chest, killing him instantly. After regaining his senses, Jae-woo took his younger brother to live with their aunt, then called Ah-jin before turning himself in. He told her that he finally felt free. When Ah-jin learned what had happened, her expression never changed. Instead, she immediately gave him legal advice, telling him to show genuine remorse and emphasize the years of abuse he had suffered. In the end, Jae-woo was sentenced to 4 years in prison.
너 쓸모없지 않아. 적어도 나한테는.
내게 기회라는
As time passed, Ah-jin was accepted into Korea University. To help pay her tuition, Jun-seo borrowed money from his grandfather. In exchange, he agreed to accompany him to Japan for 3 days of medical treatment. Yet when he gave the money to Ah-jin, he claimed it came from a scholarship funded by his grandfather. Ah-jin instantly recognized the lie, but because she desperately needed the money to attend college, she accepted it anyway. Just when everything finally seemed to be moving in the right direction, Baek Seon-gyu tracked down Ah-jin's apartment. The moment she opened the door and saw him, she warned that she was calling the police, but he snatched the phone from her hand and smashed it to the ground. His reason for coming was simple. He wanted Ah-jin's tuition money,